if there is no appetite for a new treaty for us, or for us all, then of course Britain would be ready to address the changes we need in a negotiation with our European partners. It will be an in-out referendum. The British people have voted to leave the European Union, and their will must be respected. In my view, we should aim to have a new Prime Minister in place by the start of the Conservative Party conference in October.
I have just been to Buckingham Palace, where Her Majesty the Queen has asked me to form a new government, and I accepted. But leaving with a deal is the best solution. So we will need a further extension of Article 50, one that is as short as possible and which ends when we pass a deal. The idea that 3 years after voting to leave the EU, the people of this country should be asked to elect a new set of MEPs is, I believe, unacceptable. That the UK seeks an extension to the Article 50 period until the 30th of June. I'm about to go to Buckingham Palace to tender my resignation to Her Majesty the Queen.
I have just been to see Her Majesty the Queen, who has invited me to form a government, and I have accepted. And we're going to fulfil the repeated promises of Parliament to the people and come out of the EU on October the 31st. No ifs or buts.
And I'm deeply, deeply disappointed. And I had to consider.
Are you sorry?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
you apologise to all those Conservative members who voted for you because they thought that you would take them out of the EU on the 31st of October?
It's a matter of, it's a matter of deep regret.
On day one of the new Parliament in December, we will start getting our new deal through so we get Brexit done in January and put the uncertainty behind us.
Brexit is a contentious issue that has plagued the British public for the past 3 years, with news article after news article about Remoaners, Brexiteers, and at least 3 different deadlines that will be leaving the EU, with each week bringing constant stream of new information and constant changing of public opinion. We want to find out, what do the general public think about Brexit? Let's find out.
Alex DeRuyter, Professor at Birmingham City University and Director of the Centre for Brexit Studies here at BCU. Brexit involves the UK leaving the European Union, which is largely an economic body consisting of, at the moment, 28 countries, including us, who have come together to have basically a single economic and trading area. But I think a good analogy for the EU is a tennis club. Okay, if you want to be in the tennis club, you've got to play by the rules, you've got to pay your membership fee, and you've got to respect the other members. Now, Brexit, if you like, is the UK, for whatever reason, wanting to leave that club. It thinks the club isn't the best for it, at least in the eyes of the UK government, and that there are better clubs elsewhere in the world to go and join. So we hear a lot of arguments, for example, around if the UK leaves the EU, then we have great trade deals we can negotiate with the likes of the United States or China or India or Australia, for that matter.
So why do you feel Brexit has taken this long?
Well, if you want to leave a club because you say you don't want to play by the rules, you don't want to pay your membership fee, and people have questions over how much you respect other members, but actually it turns out you don't want to play by the rules, you don't want to pay a membership fee, but you still want to enjoy all the benefits of membership. That's why it's taken over 3 years. Because back in 2016, when Michael Gove and Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage were leading the push to leave the EU, they all said that we could enjoy the same benefits of membership by not being a member. And anyone who's ever tried to leave a tennis club or any other kind of club and still think they can get the benefits of membership without paying will tell you that ain't going to happen.
I think that the way that people gave Brexit, do you think they were misled with the information to start with?
Well, if you come back to my earlier point about the lead protagonists such as Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage and Michael Gove and David Davis and these sorts of people, Liam Fox, another one, the former Trade Secretary, saying that we would enjoy all the benefits of membership or that we held all the cards so that the EU would be desperate to have a deal with us. Well, they've just been proven wrong, haven't they? So, you would be forgiven for thinking either they just didn't know what they were talking about or they were misleading the public. I think that it's very important to be aware of all the issues. I think it's very important in a decision like this, which that referendum in 2016 led to the biggest potential shift in the UK's relationship with the rest of the world, never mind just Europe. I mean, it would realign the UK's relationship with the United States or China or India as well, is too important for people to feel overwhelmed by the issue. I mean, you know, there's a lot of information out there you can look at to see how will Brexit impact on your personal life. You know, that's a very easy way to start. I mean, it's very easy to feel confused about the complexities of trading relationships. But the simplest thing to do would be to Google or some such, how will Brexit affect me? Yeah, even websites. Can I name websites? You know, I mean, websites like, I think, Martin Money Save, you know, they will tell people what Brexit does to you on a personal basis. And that's where you find out, well, what's the single market? Well, the single market means I can use my mobile phone in Spain or Germany and it ain't going to cost me anything extra. Whereas the minute I go to Australia or the minute the UK leaves that zone, that's not guaranteed.
After sitting down with Alex, I decided to go and speak to people at my local snooker club to find out what they are voting for and to find out what they think about leaving the EU. Is it just the younger generations and academics who believe the country will fall apart when leaving, or have I found myself in a bubble of social beliefs? I want to know how the older generation feel about the state of Brexit. In a short answer, what are your feelings on Brexit?
Betrayed.
It's taken far too long.
Bored. Quite simply, put to a referendum. We voted. Percentage won. And they were dragging the heels about it.
Why do you think Brexit has taken so long?
Wish I knew. You do get the impression that a lot of the people that said they want to deliver what the public voted on have sort of lied for their own gain. Maybe that's a naive thing, but nobody's got all the information, so people are just left to fester on their thoughts. Well, obviously, before the referendum, it was they were trying to influence votes. From day one, I've never thought I've been lied to. I knew personally that the EU itself, I didn't think it's going to take us down a good road. You know, immigration coming into Europe, I think it's just going to have a big effect. Not next year or next, in a couple of years, but in 10 or 15, 20 years, I think Europe's going to have a big problem. Personally,
We've got a parliament that's full of Remainers, and the people voted to leave, and they haven't respected the will of the people. So it's out of order. That's why Boris Johnson should win the election.
So why do you think that more of the younger voting have the opposite opinion to that? If you know what I mean.
Because they haven't got life experience at the moment. They haven't seen what we've come from, to what we've given up, to what we want to get back to.
I think it's just because people of my age, you've been around a little bit, you've seen things how were in the past, you see all the things that's happened because of the European Union. We don't trust the European Union. It's a huge beast. I think it's a bubble waiting to burst. Not all the countries pay into it. There's about 7 major powers who pay a lot of money into it. The people voted to leave, and we're still left by now.
I thought, after speaking to someone who has studied Brexit, and I feel like he explained it very well in the way about how the EU works, about describing it as a club, but then speaking now to a different view is like it's just made me think more. Am I thinking the right way? Am I taking the right information in? Am I just seeing the propaganda side and not actually thinking into it properly? Am I just believing what I'm being fed, or am I digging into it deep enough? I still feel like I have a lot to learn about Brexit. Was the younger generation just inexperienced and could not see what the future could be without the Union? Or are the academics correct in how we perceive Brexit? At the end of the day, who really knows when this will end?